Is King Charles really stripping Prince Harry of royal privileges? Ever since the Queen's passing in early September, the unrest that's been circulating amongst the royal family has become more evident. Although King Charles has not been officially coronated and is in mourning, it is said that he will set out to make reforms that will tidy up the royal house. According to reports, he plans to slim down and restructure the British monarchy as he begins his reign. And it looks like Prince Harry and other royals are not safe. But what does this mean for the royal family, and how have the Duke and Duchess of Sussex reacted to this news?
In his first days as ruler, King Charles III is reportedly considering slimming down the British monarchy, paring down the monarchy team to a key 7 members. What are the pros and cons to this kind of change?
With the Queen's death comes a moment of transition for members of the royal family as they take on new roles, titles, and responsibilities. Now you may be wondering what a slimmed-down monarch is and how it affects the royal lineage. Well, to put it simple and short, it involves reducing the size of the monarchy and cutting down on the number of working royals. The current line of succession, according to the royal family's website, shows the 22 highest-ranking members of the firm, which means that there are currently 22 working royals. But if King Charles goes ahead with his plans to reduce the size of the monarchy, the line of succession will be cut down to just 7 key members, all senior working royals. According to Kinsey Schofield, a royal commentator, the slimmed-down version could include King Charles III and Queen Consort Camilla, Prince Edward and the Countess of Wessex, Sophie, Prince William, Kate Middleton, and Princess Royal Anne. He also mentioned that Prince Harry was included in the original lineup before he stepped down from active royal duties. But the idea of the resizing might be to draw attention to the King and Queen Consort, as well as Prince William and Kate, as the future of the monarchy. King Charles got the inspiration to slim down his monarchy from the King of Sweden, King Carl Gustaf, who previously adopted the model and stripped almost all of his grandchildren of their HRH titles in 2019, except the future heir and spare to the throne. It seems like King Charles is seriously considering the next generation of royals and which members would be included, because if he follows in the footsteps of Sweden's king, he could end up keeping only Prince George and Princess Charlotte's titles. But the question is, why does he want to slim down the monarchy? According to the Times, it might have to do with the royal family's reputation and the difficulty of handling all the numerous royal scandals that come up. Apart from this, there may also be some economic reasoning behind it. Reducing the number of royals who undertake official duties would mean reducing those funded by the sovereign grant, the public fund used to support them. However, many are not happy with this move and have urged King Charles not to follow through with his decision, and a constitutional expert has warned that the idea of slimming down the monarchy may not be a good one. According to Professor Vernon Bogdanor, there is a key issue with having fewer working royals, which are centered around the fact that the king can't do it all. Professor Bogdanor explained that the queen and the new king and all the rest can't do it all on their own. He gave an illustration. When people build, say, a new town hall in Wigan or a new library in Hartlepool, they would like a member of the royal family to open it. This is where minor royals who may be cut under the slimmed-down monarchy have an important public service role to play. But this is not the only reform that King Charles will be making regarding the royal family. He is also reportedly planning to amend the law on who can fill in for him if he's incapacitated, and plans to cut Harry and Andrew as official stand-ins. According to reports by the Daily Telegraph, the move would see the Duke of York, the Duke of Sussex, and Princess Beatrice all relieved of their duties as official stand-ins for King Charles when he is indisposed. Before the Queen's death, these roles were filled by King Charles, Prince William, Prince Harry, and Prince Andrew. But now that the previous monarch of the UK is no longer with us, the palace has been under pressure to remove both Prince Harry and Prince Andrew, who resigned from being working members of the royal family. Apparently, King Charles will soon have the law changed and will possibly elevate his sister, Princess Anne, and brother Prince Edward into the position. It seems like King Charles has really left Prince Harry out in the cold for good, but that was expected, as Harry was the one who originally left on his own and withdrew from being a working royal. How could he possibly accept a role as monarch when he considers it to be a cage and is currently in California? So these new reforms shouldn't be a problem for him, right? Well, think again. Meghan and Harry are furious at the royal family, not because of these new reforms, but because the king has refused to give their kids, Archie and Lilibet, his and Her Royal Highness titles. According to reports from The Sun, King Charles had originally agreed to bestow the titles of Prince and Princess on Archie and Lilibet. However, there are also reports that King Charles is refusing to allow them to be known under the Royal Highness title, since their parents don't have them either after being stripped of them when they abandoned the royal family. An insider told The Sun, "That is the agreement. They can be Prince and Princess, but not HRA, because they are not working royals." However, Robert Lacey, a royal historian, is doubtful that King Charles would make the hostile decision of stripping his grandkids of their birthright. He had told people at the time that he strongly believed that King Charles would defer to the tradition, which states that Prince and Princess titles will be automatically given to all of his grandchildren when he eventually takes the throne. In 1917, King George V established a rule concerning how royal titles should be given to descendants, the grandchildren of any such sovereign's sons in the direct male line. According to the rule, shall have and enjoy on all occasions the style and title enjoyed by the children of of dukes. Joe Little, the managing editor of Majesty magazine, also said that the question of titles for Archie and Lilibet was really at the Duke and Duchess of Sussex discretion. He said, as the grandchildren of the sovereign, they have the right to be upgraded to the style of His or Her Royal Highness. But that begs the question of whether Harry and Meghan want that. Do they prefer what Prince Edward and Sophie have, and not have their children as their Royal Highnesses, with a view to them leading relatively normal lives? Princess Eugenie also recently eschewed the designation for her firstborn, August Philip Hawke Brooksbank, preferring to give him a more ordinary life. During her interview with Oprah in March, Meghan made it clear that the question of titles was not our decision to make, but their children's. Even though I have a lot of clarity about what comes with the titles, good and bad, that is their birthright to then choose, she said. However, King Charles has to approve, but he hasn't made up his mind yet, and it's causing significant tension with Harry and Meghan, who have been relentless in their effort to have their children's titles bestowed, and fear that the king may strip Archie and Lilibet of their titles since he hasn't recognized their elevated status yet. Apparently, Harry had discussed the issue with his father after the Queen's death. Charles had asked him if he wanted to have his kids use the Royal Highness status, to which he had replied that he wanted them to decide for themselves when they're older, but emphasized that they should be allowed to retain their titles now. However, Harry and Meghan were left unsatisfied as the conversation was unresolved. The tension escalated when Harry found out that his grandmother's cipher had been removed from the shoulder of his military uniform. And to make matters worse, Prince William and Kate Middleton's titles had already been updated on the royal website to Prince and Princess of Wales, while Archie and Lilibet's hadn't. The fact that the changes haven't been made for the grandkids like the others only suggests that something is off. According to a spokesman for the king, the matter will be postponed until the king is done mourning his mother's death, but for the time being, Archie and Lilibet are automatically entitled to be Prince and Princess. And for that to change, he will have to issue a letter patent to prevent them from using the titles, which would certainly be a choice, considering Archie and Lilibet are his grandchildren. Phil Dampier, a royal expert, said that lots of people think Harry and Meghan themselves should lose their titles. So I think they should just accept this compromise and be grateful, as it could be a lot worse for them and their children. Fans, however, are very pleased with King Charles and are saying that Harry and Meghan got what they deserved for abandoning their family. If they no longer work for the royal family after stepping back as senior royals, they should be stripped of all titles. Another user added, they want to eat their cake and have it too. The Queen told them, once you're out, you're out. They chose to leave and then spread their dirty laundry across the globe. Yes, I think Charles was correct. They are not part of the royal part of the family. They still get to be called Prince and Princess, and they're still part of the actual family, but they are not royals, which the royal family does separate. You reap what you sow. And another said, King Charles did the most honorable duty for the monarchy. Those two gave up working for their titles. They wanted the cake and ate it too. Good job, King Charles. But what do you say? Do you agree that they're finally getting their due? And do you think Archie and Lilibet should suffer the actions of their parents? And if you thought this video was interesting, check out this next one.